Okay, so welcome again. So now this is the lesson 2 on earth science, and basically in lesson 2 we are going to look at how rain fall from the clouds. What happened before the rain will fall, what causes the rain to fall, and what are the things that go into the formation of rain. Okay, so sorry. Every day we see clouds in the sky. These clouds that we see in the sky are made up of a collection of very tiny water droplets. They float in the sky above us and even block out the sun sometimes. On some days, the clouds are white and puffy, and other days they are dark and they cover the entire sky. Now, how do clouds form? They are formed by a process called condensation. There is a picture on the next page. We'll look at it. It shows how clouds are formed. Okay, now when the sun shines, it warms up water bodies. When the water vapor from the heated water body and warm air from the land rises upwards, they meet cold air in the atmosphere. Now the cold air in the atmosphere will cool the water vapor and the warm air to become water droplets. As small water droplets form in the atmosphere, they gather together and form what clouds. So basically we have a water body. The sun is shining on the water body. Okay, now water vapor is going to come out of the water body because it is hot. The water body has become hot. So it's like how you put water on fire. Once the water becomes hot, you see vapor start coming out of the water. Yes, that is what happened. So this vapor is going to rise, and together with warm air in the atmosphere will meet cool air in the skies. Okay, that is where the formation of clouds come into being. Now let's look at the water cycle, how rain fall from the sky. Maybe you have wondered why, or I mean, how rain falls from the clouds. Now, before it rains, water has to go through a cycle called the water cycle. So we shall learn about the water cycle and how it works. Okay, there are processes water goes through before it falls on the surface of the earth as rain. The process are there are three. Okay, so we have evaporation, we have condensation, and we have precipitation. Let's look at these three processes one after the other. Now the first is evaporation. Like I said, when you put water on fire, once the water becomes hot, you see vapor coming out of the water. That is basically what evaporation is. Okay, so as the open water bodies are heated up by the sun, you see the water vapor will rise up. Okay, and as it's going, it's not going as water, it's going as gas. Okay, it's not liquid going any longer, it is gas that is going into the atmosphere. Okay, and that is what we call evaporation. That is what we call evaporation. So evaporation is defined as the process by which liquid changes into gas when heat is applied. Okay, so if the water is there and there is no application of heat, there isn't going to be evaporation. But once heat is applied, there's going to be evaporation. So when you look at the picture, you see the water body is there, the sun is shining on it, and then the water vapor too is what going up. The water vapor is going up. The sun rays is coming down, the water vapor is what going up. That is basically what evaporation is. Now let's look at condensation. So when the water vapor or the gas gets into the sky, it cools and changes back into tiny droplets liquid. Right? It changes back into tiny droplet liquid. As more and more water droplets form in the sky, they join together to form clouds. So if there is no evaporation, there won't be any condensation or the formation of clouds. Okay. So the process whereby uh, the the warm gas is going to cool down to become droplets of liquid is known as condensation. So condensation can be defined as the process by which gas changes into liquid by cooling, right? By cooling. Now the third process is precipitation. The third process is precipitation. So when the water droplets in the clouds get cooler and cooler, they become heavy, right? When they are too heavy for the clouds to hold, they are allowed to come down towards the surface of the earth by force of gravity, and they fall down as rain. They fall down as rain. So basically that is precipitation. So raining is like precipitation, alright? Now the precipitation can be in a form of liquid or solid depending on the temperature in the atmosphere. The different types of precipitation are liquid rain, snow, sleet or hail. Okay, they are all types of precipitation. Now let's take a look at dew point. So when we wake up in the morning, we usually see the surface of the leaves, grasses and cars wet, even though it has not rained. Okay, these tiny droplets of water are called dew. They are called dew. Dew does not fall from the clouds like rain. It is formed when water vapor in the air condenses on cold surfaces on the ground. So this means that, so this is what happened. Okay, during the night, the temperature in the air drops and becomes cold. Since cold air cannot hold water like warm air, the warm air begins to condense into water droplets. These water droplets gather on surface of cold objects which form dew. Dew point is the temperature at which water vapor in the air condenses into water droplets or liquid dew. Okay, so not all clouds form as rainfall. There are different types of clouds that form in the sky. Not all the clouds result in rainfall. Some clouds produce rain while others do not produce rain. Clouds that result in rainfall contain heavy water droplets that form the dark clouds, and the heavy water droplets are easily pulled to the surface of the earth by force of gravity. Okay, these clouds are also formed close to the ground and did not result in rainfall. Okay, they are usually light and high up in the sky, right? So this is the end of the lesson. Lesson 3 is coming shortly. Don't go nowhere.